Thank you. Sorry about that. And it was a long flight from US back to here, and I haven't been getting involved for seL4 for probably 3 years gone up after we done the 2626 for Horizons OS. So, and today I'm going to talk about seL4 and potentially on RISC-V hardware. Just now, Christopher talked about RISC-V a lot, and also it's all about AI now. And before we talk about AI, let's take a picture. So and remember the state how we move to formal verification into the AI world now is interesting. So I need to remember this. Been a long while, at least 5 years. I haven't been to summit. Thank you, everybody. So, okay, talk to myself. I'm a software guy, and I do virtual machines, and then compiler, and then my previous startup, and it's all.
I don't understand.
You can see how that is the critical bit of AI. I have no idea why. Just tell me, don't understand, right? So I'm a software guy, and then after my previous startup, I work closely with Kernel on the static analysis and then verification, and I do all the static analysis for my shareholder, which is Horizons, and on the automotive. So after the software company, then I found a hardware company. So in the COVID, during the COVID, because our verification, all these are to be business. When in lockdown, we can't do nothing. Random lockdown at home, it just can't do nothing. So, and the trigger me, why doing hardware? I'm a software guy. So now I start doing my hardware. If I'm really serious about software. So when I don't trust anyone. So that's the reason. So what we do, we take on the trend of RISC-V, and we primarily do only RISC-V products. We don't do any ARM and any other things. So we focus on new way of doing consumer electronics, for example, the tablet and smart speakers, and exploring how much of a problem that RISC-V has. And later on, from the conventional personal computing to now the AI PC. And then, of course, I do some fun things about toys as well. So I did make a balloon. And when US government saying that the Chinese balloon is over to the US, they shutting it down. I did make a balloon in the RISC-V summit. So, and it just gone wrong, flew over to the roof and we could get reach it. But anyway, so that's not secure. So what happened to the AI now? After we get onto RISC-V, we see that the AI is the model getting smaller, and then the compute cost is getting slower, and then we can possibly faster inferencing, and then probably post-training coming down on the device side. So, and as Christopher says that, and then more and more on the edge device identity verification, or somehow we had to do something about it. Otherwise, it's just like this guy telling you, I don't understand it. So, and what can we do on the local device? I think basically now we start verifying most of the small model you can do really inferencing on most of the distill models. And then you can do all lots of innovations on around 50 TOPS computes. You get most of the guys, you guys can play around with the open platform, the AI PC platform like NVIDIA, which is the lead. So, and RISC-V, the problem with RISC-V is the ecosystem. So we will see it now. There's no official lineage digital can generate image, or even seL4 to generate an official verified image for RISC-V hardware. So that we start finding out the problem, because we can see that it's all come from the SoC. They don't support the kernel upstream, and then therefore there's no Ubuntu, Fedora, or Red Hat, any of those official image for RISC-V. You had to generate yourself by the SoC guys. So then we partner with we sorted out all these things. And now one thing is that we did wait for the RISC-V, the latest standard, RISC-V coming out, so that all these distro will work on it after we solve the Linux kernel upstreaming. And therefore, we're getting there, hardware getting there, and Linux is getting there. And then now I need to get back onto seL4, need to get back there. Right, especially for RISC-V. And the challenge of RISC-V, I can see it is that, here we talk about a lot of verifications. And just now Christopher says that, where's the business case, right? So RISC-V is hard. In this area, it's very hard. You can't find, where's the market, right? The conventional market, the consumer market, the personal computer market, and the server side, they're all occupied. One thing, they don't know, and a lot of things they don't know. There's no target market big enough, and there's no required compute. You don't know how much the compute is. And worse and worse. Anyone knows how old is RISC-V now? Yes, exactly. 15 years. 15 years we reached the milestone of RISC-V. It's pretty long day. Pretty long days. So most of the startup, they run out of time. And there's no big boy coming in to drive it, unlike ARM. I used to work for Nokia, so we drive ARM very hard. One Nokia feature phone we manage and have 9 to 16 ARM IP inside. Nokia was ARM's the biggest customer at the time. So you can see one big boy on the big trend, then it pushes out. And then now RISC-V definitely. And then as I say, look at the resource side. ARM has 10,000 people, and all the SoC guys plus altogether probably 50,000 people. And probably even more. But for the RISC-V, the whole eco hardware, IP, blah, 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 all together, probably less than 5,000 people. So it's not enough time, not enough human resource, and then we call it very difficult. So we're trying to hammer the consumer electronics in the market. Literally, we can see it's impossible. So now, I think all the RISC-V ecosystems, they back on two things. One is AI. One's autonomous driving, because autonomous driving plus AI, they pretty go together now, pretty much go together. So, as I say, RISC-V SoC hardware, just now when we talk about hardware verification, it's long, painful. Just now Chris was saying that probably verify a full OS is very hard, and then verify the full hardware supply chain is even harder. So, and it's very painful cycle. You can see from my IP to SoC to now I'm making the motherboard. Later on I can show you. And it's a long cycle. And then we have the software system software like Linux, seL4, and then toolchain all together, plus application all together. And then by the time I make the official mass product here, do you know how long it takes? It takes 5 to 10 years. Later on, show you my products on RISC-V for high performance. The IP is literally 5 to 6 years old. It's very painful. And also, why it's so painful when we reach to the high performance SoC? We talk about AI. We call it the scaling is that we had to sell over at least 2 million to make the money back, to break even. So it's pretty hard. When you rate 2 million point, now it's very difficult to find a mass market under the not enough time, not enough resources to make to go. So but RISC-V is making very, very good performance. Now this year we announced the mass production 4-core motherboard with the framework laptop, and then with 8 core coming, and then we have 32 core and Q4 coming, and then we have another 16 core AI coming. You can see hardware is there, although most of the system partners are all losing money, but still pumping up more money on it. So it's exciting. So how can we make a RISC-V AI more successful in reality is that we had to prefer unknown features. People play with Lego. People play with IKEA, all the components, do DIY and stack it up and very flexible. We call it retrofit Lego approach. So basically, it's standard interface at all levels. Later on, we'll talk about, and then modular all the time. So first of all, from IP and to die, now we're using chiplets, most of them using chiplets. And then after the chiplet goes down to the SoC, everything is the PCIe and host and devices. And then by the time the SoC to the board, to the external interface, that will be the Type-C, so the best unification of European law, standardized the Type-C. The best ever. You know, we can standardize the power parks. So, and then later on we talk about the end product level, how can we share one motherboard across from the desktop all the way to the laptops. So that is the RISC-V now. You can see there's 2 chiplets. So there's a 2 4-core in it. So basically you can make a 4-core product, end product, you can make the 8-core, and by connecting them using the chiplet. UCIe or whatever proprietary interconnect. So you can see we will make, this is the first RISC-V AI PC that conventionally, we will see this around better than, for AI wise, they're better than any of the ARM version. Even the Qualcomm under the 12 nanometer. So, and you can see, we can make a motherboard, also we can make it as a device board, a PCIe card as well. So you will see we have a lot of chiplets all around, all connected together, either by tree or by a ring. So that's how we saying that we can, one chip, we can make all different product, and then we connect all the chip, we make another version product. That makes our mass volume, we get to scaling, is better. So, and as I say, right, just now, all level, we partner with framework. I don't know anyone use framework now here. When Christopher talking about sovereignty, hardware sovereignty, when Trump put the tax law on all the consumer electronic, including computing products, to US, their custom department broke down because they can't even fix the computers because all the parts from Far East, and they don't have the budget. So they had to, straight away, 4 weeks later on, drop all the computing components. Okay, so that is how it works. So we partner with framework, one of the modular laptops, so you can share the motherboard across. The computer can upgrade the motherboard. The problem with RISC-V, just now you can see a roadmap, where every 6 months with a motherboard coming out. If I do a conventional laptop, people won't be able to upgrade it. People can't do upgrade, but in framework, you can upgrade the motherboard. You can keep changing it to x86 or ARM or RISC-V. So it's a very modular approach. So it's very affordable. We're trying to get a bundle. And then for 16-inch, even better, we have a PCIe with 2 architecture. You can run x86. People a lot of excuses saying that we need x86 to survive. But my hobby is on RISC-V. So you have one laptop with 2 architectures. So that is the thing we think out how we can retrofit into the real world, the business case with RISC-V. And the other thing, we all into our AI PC desktop. You can see we have one mini ITS board with 300 TOPS. Then we can wire it together and then can run the whole mini data center at home. You can run your models. And then the reason why we talk about local models, at the end of the day, you don't really want to trust the model running on the cloud. You don't know what it is. And later on, I think Kernel had to think about how to re-verify the models. So what happened now on the seL4 progress? Why I had to come back now this year? Now we need to kick it back in RISC-V. It's getting there. Next year, RVA23 hardware is there. So now I need to get the seL4 back onto the mass productions on the new RISC-V hardware. So far, with the RVA23, there's no certified virtualization. The board I got is a preliminary virtualization. They still have bugs in it. And then because of that, we won't be able to see, without virtualizations, we won't be able to see any high performance applications with seL4 fully ported. So basically, the industry I mean is automotive. So far I don't know whether any Neo guy here or Neo Auto guys here. So yeah, exactly. So you know what happened, right? So and we need virtualization. Once the virtualization come in, we have all the framework, we can run all the models and all these things getting easier. So that's been, and then AI box, I don't know what is, you know. It's out of the blue, but it's a great so far is we can put it, you can run the SFS test, image loading, and then, but you know, it fails. seL4 still crash, random crash, and then we need someone to help us get cracking on and fixing all this because it's first things. And then this is probably the first a RISC-V autonomous platform we're going to put it in, and then we change the ARM to our RISC-V SoC, see whether we can get cracking on here. The board probably should be out by after the Christmas. So probably we send a few to Gernot, help me to fixing all the bugs. So, and then you can straight away put it onto a lot of applications. So this is the partner we work with. And then we have very crazy, just now, very crazy AI PC. I do not know how seL4 to you can see, how can we, the model is split into all the ring die, all the chiplet dies. How seL4 can guard all these safety and criticality. It's getting compressed. AI is very compressed. Far compressed again than conventional. And I need you guys' idea because we're putting out the hardware there. You guys have to think about, well, how can we use seL4? So we have all the sponsorship. You guys come and help. I think seL4 probably the first one is the community projects for us to support. So we will ship you guys all the hardware. You guys do all the fixings. And then, yeah, that's probably the first one. And then we have AI startup. I don't know anyone seL4 going to go into the AI. I do not know. So probably we can have something. So that will be shipping to you guys. Can have fun. And then move the AI. My last word is move into the AI. How seL4 going to help? It's totally different world, completely different world. So, and I bet you. Thank you very much. Long way.